Well, I don't know if I should talk about that. I was, when I was in high school, I was voted the most popular in my class. And I dated, it's going to sound terrible, I dated girls all the way up in the 30s when I was a teenager. And I shouldn't say this, but I dated, you know, I've had like maybe 5 or 6 girls going all at the same time at any given time. So yeah, I guess you would say that I was kind of popular with the girls, you know. And one of the reasons why is because I was a really, really good dancer. I learned to dance when I was very young by a couple of aunts and my mom, and I danced the old-fashioned way that back in the 30s and 40s. So I learned to dance at an early age. So when I got into my teens, and of course I started dancing, that was kind of almost like Dick Clark kind of dancing in the 50s. Only in Pittsburgh we had our own style, and it was much smoother than Philadelphia. And so that of course, I think when you're a good dancer, all the girls attract you, you know, I mean, your attraction, I should say, for the girls. And it really worked in my favor as I taught my children to do the same thing. And I have one son that was kind of like me as well. It's rubbed off on him. So he's kind of like me, my oldest son. And so it seems that hopefully, you know, he's got 2 daughters and they're both very outgoing. So I think it rubbed off on his girls. So we're very fortunate because some of that has gone down the line from my dad. The one good thing that I had going for me was that I'm half German, I'm half Irish. So I always tell people, you know, the Irish side of me lets me enjoy myself a lot, but the German side makes me very serious. And I'm very, you know, very focused person. And if I was all German, I think I would probably have a problem, but I have the half Irish in me. So when I would go talk to the fathers and the mothers, back in the 50s, you had to actually go and meet the mothers and fathers before you took the girls out in a lot of cases. So when I would go in, I was this really sweet, charming guy, you know, and the fathers felt comfortable. And so when I leave, you know, it was nice, you know. So.
Now sometimes the police came knocking, didn't they?
The police never come knocking for me. They came knocking probably for my brothers. I never brought anything home. Nobody ever came knocking for me. I was one of those kind of people, lucky people in life, I guess. I got away with everything. And the only time one thing I didn't get away with, I drove a girl's car and I got in an accident. And the father came knocking and talked to my stepfather. And I was probably the only thing that that I ever brought home. But they did come knocking for my brothers. I was always working. I was a worker. I worked all the time since I was 9. So when you're working, you know, you're always off the street a lot. I set up pins, I did everything. So I was blessed with the fact that I liked to work. The most thing I think I probably got away with was that I think my mother believed in me so much that she thought I could do no wrong. And I think that was probably the things that I did do, I did get away with. It was only because that I had an awful lot of confidence in the fact that I could do things. And like I said, my mother was a great believer in me. So, but that also helped me in other areas because she was a believer in me. I went and did a lot of things that I ordinarily would never have been able to do because of my mother's belief.